What's going on, everyone? This is Eric with SweetSpot DFS, going over a DraftKings first look for this week's PGA Championship. Now, I won't be going over player by player, but I'll be going over most of the players. We do have a 5K range that we can kind of largely ignore because we have a bunch of PGA professionals down in that price point. But for the most part, this video is just going to be looking at some of these higher price golfers and coming up with some strategies as to build lineups around them. Now, this video also serves as a kickoff to this week's tournament and this week's content that I will be providing. I will be giving you guys a course and tournament information video, a pass optimal and GPP winning lineups video, a bucket system video, maybe a preview, which will combine all of those things together. And then I go live Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to go over a strategy video. I will also be I'll be running a giveaway at that time. If you want an entry into that giveaway, it is a win the pot giveaway. I did this for the Masters. We got it up to $70. That means we had 25 new subscribers that subscribed that week. What this win the pot giveaway is, it starts at $20, and for every one new subscriber, I add $2 to the pot. Over there, I've time-stamped, or pretty much subscriber-stamped, where we started with this giveaway at 943 subscribers. We're at 944. So we added one new subscriber that will add $2 to it, so now the pot is up to $22. If you want to help grow this pot, subscribe to the channel. If you want to enter if you want to earn entries into this giveaway, comment down below. So start with this video. Just comment down in the comment section who your winner is this week. Who do you think will win the PGA Championship this week? Give me your answers down in the comment section, and that's how you will get an entry into the giveaway. Now, I just mentioned I will be providing other videos throughout this week leading up to the PGA Championship. Go comment on each and every one of those, and you'll get one additional entry that way. Furthermore, if you're on X, I will be posting when those videos go live. If you share any of those posts, you get one more entry. So depending on how many videos I put out there, this is one. I plan to put at least 3 more out there. That would be 4. Those 4 alone, you can get 4 entries just by commenting down on the YouTube comments, and you can get 4 more if you're on X. So you get a total of 8. Now, it only takes 1 entry to win. Most of the people that come to this channel, whether it's watching the live videos or watching these on replay, they comment one time and they win. That's as easy as it is. And you do have to be there Tuesday night when I select the winner. First of all, to let me know where to send the money. That's a big one. And for you to contact me, because YouTube does not allow me to look at your email address through your YouTube account. So I can't contact you. You'll have to contact me. So you want to be there. You want to be there. Now, this giveaway is lovely because it kind of goes hand in hand with another giveaway that I do. The other giveaway that I have on this channel is a SweetSpotDFS.com giveaway. It is my website that I have created. It has a big database that's behind it. And each of the pages I use for my own researching. And because I use it, I'm providing it for every one of you guys to use it. Now, for this giveaway, you don't have to do anything but create a free account. So all you gotta do is go to the link that's down in the description below, SweetSpotDFS.com. Go create a free account, and you are automatically entered into this giveaway. I will run this giveaway once this channel reaches 1,000 subscribers. So you see how it works well with the win the pot giveaway. The more subscribers we get, the bigger that pot grows, and the closer we get to 1,000 subscribers. So like I said, as soon as this channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, I'm running this giveaway. I'm giving away $1,000 worth of giveaways, 2 of them being a $100 cash giveaway, one of them being an annual membership to SweetSpotDFS.com, and another one being a lifetime member to SweetSpotDFS.com. If you need to know, I plan to at least have this website for the next 5 years, if not the next 10 years. I personally enjoy this as a nice little side project of mine that I enjoy having. I also play DraftKings every single week for golf. I'm never not going to have this website for myself. And as long as I have people that are signing up on it, it's going to be alive forever. So there are ways that you can actually become a member yourself outside of this giveaway. Go to the website, sign up for any of the tiers that I have. A lot of the tools that I will showcase throughout my videos are behind paywalls. You do need to be a paying member in order to see them. But this is one giveaway. Another giveaway that I have, well, I do this, I do a weekly giveaway every single week. I give away $5 every single week, and then a monthly giveaway of giving a membership to SweetSpotDFS.com. And if we reach the goal, the monthly goal, which this month will be 950 subscribers, which I think we'll reach pretty easy as long as we can keep growing that Win the Pot giveaway. Once we reach over 950 subscribers, again, that's 6 more. I just need 6 more subscribers. I will add a t-shirt to that monthly giveaway. It ends up being a $50 value. If you want an entry, be subscribed, comment down below. That's it. So just wanted to throw that out there. Remember, I'm doing at least 3 videos this week, including, or 3 videos plus the live stream that I do Tuesday nights. Another thing I do, Wednesday nights, I live stream for only members on YouTube. So if you want to check out that video, you have to hit the join button down here. Become a white tier member and above. Furthermore, if any of my videos reach 25 likes, I will give away 5 YouTube memberships for each of those videos that get over 25 likes. So, lots of ways to participate on this channel, lots of ways to get giveaways or to earn entries into giveaways, to win giveaways. It's just, it's my way of rewarding you guys for rewarding me. That's the whole purpose of all of this. So, that's everything. That's everything. Thank you all for being patient while I go through all the housekeeping items. Let's get into this video and talk about this player by player analysis that I have. First things worth mentioning, Scottie Scheffler's at $13,900. This is $300 more. Oh, $500 more than he was last year at the PGA Championship. $500. He was $13,400. And a fun way to do this, and we're going to go over this a little bit later, not quite right now, but if you were to go to like Pass Optimal and GPP winning lineups, you can drill down on that. We'll look at historic salary lineups, but I also will be providing that in the Pass Optimal and GPP winning lineups video that I'll put out later this week. But last year, Scottie Scheffler was $13,400. And last year, we also had a 5K range like we have this year. Now, what does that mean to you guys? If you've been playing DFS this year, you have noticed that Scottie Scheffler has been $14,000 or more in each of his, each of the events that he's played or that DraftKings has had, except for his last event, which was the Cadillac Championship. He was $13,600. I kind of went over this long-winded analysis about how Scottie Scheffler does not pay off his price tag when he's $14,000 or more in the 2026 season. And that was true. That was true unless he boat raced anybody. And that's what he did at the American Express. He won by quite a few strokes. All of that is mostly because there was not a 5K range. And I kind of meant, I said we would do this later, but let's do it now. If you use the historic salary builds at SweetSpotDFS.com and you go into this fantasy stats filter, just drill into there and highest price golfer, put in $14,000. Just go ahead, put that in. We'll X out of this. And basically what this is doing is filtering out of the 3 lineups that I keep track of, the GPP winning lineup, the optimal lineup, and the Sweet Spot Optimal. Those are 3 lineups that I keep track every single week, just to give you an idea of how some of these salary structures work. Whenever there's a $14,000 or more golfer, and also another thing to mention, let's get rid of the Tour Championship. Tour Championship is weird. It's going to include the starting strokes and all that stuff with those salaries. So I have 8 events where a $14,000 golfer won or was a part of one of these winning lineups. AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am this year. Scottie Scheffler was in the Sweet Spot Optimal this year. He was also in each of the American Express lineups, but he was in the Open Championship as well as the US Open. Now I said 14,000. Let's move that down to, let's say, 13.4. And 13.4 is very specific because I want to include the PGA Championship from last year. So you can see this on the bottom of the page, 2025 PGA Championship. Scottie Scheffler was $13,400. He won this event. You can see the different types of salary builds that worked well with it. Now, I convert 5K golfers into 6K golfers. I do this price conversion. I'll show you what that looks like. If you go to the cheat sheet and you scroll down to this cheat sheet, it's going to have the Truist Championship information in there right now, since this is being recorded on a Friday. But there is a price conversion spreadsheet that I have that I will update. And basically this is what it looks like. So when Scottie was $14,200 at the Open Championship last year, I converted that down to $13,200 because that's kind of, if you average out all the salaries, basically every year DraftKings average salary is around $7,000. It's like between $69,500 and $7,200 usually, somewhere in between there. I just kind of made a blanket $7,000 as the average salary. But basically what I'd want to do is kind of equally modify or equally convert each of these salaries to become a salary just less than or more, because I want my minimum salary to be $6,000. So that's the first thing to do, is we need to get these golfers to become $6,000 golfers, because, just throwing this out there, that's important. DraftKings outside of the major championships has always had 6K as the lowest price tag. So if we are analyzing salaries, if we're analyzing salary structures, we want to remain consistent. So the only way to do that is convert these salaries up. And so again, I will be converting this week's PGA Championship. This page will get updated. And again, a way to access this, go to sweetspotdfs.com. You do not need an account for this. Under Fantasy Tools, select Cheat Sheet, and then on this page, scroll down past this cheat sheet to get to this one. Just click here and that will open up a new page for you. And then find the price conversions tab down below, go there, and then you will see this week's PGA Championship with the converted price tags. But anyways, what I'm getting at is a lot of our cheap golfers that are kind of, worth playing, they're going to be so much cheaper than they typically would be. Let me give you a very, very specific example. I'm going to go to the US Open. The US Open last year where JJ Spawn won. So 2025 US Open, let's do the GPP winning lineup. If we take a look here, this is one of those lineups where Scottie Scheffler was in at $14,400. The only way this works out is when JJ Spawn is $6,700 and wins the event. Our second place guy is also $6,700. And we have another good performer in the 6K range. Now, I'm going to show you this guy. I'm going to show you this right now because I have the cheat sheet open. If we go and we look at Adam Scott's price tag for the Truist Championship, which is happening, well, it's currently in progress. He's $8,900. Now, is he playing better this year than he was last year? Yes, but it's still Adam Scott. $8,900 in a 2026 event. Well, again, if we take a look, he was $6,600 at the US Open in 2025. That caliber of a golfer at that low of a price tag allows you to be able to play Scottie Scheffler at a very high price tag. So it's a very long-winded way of me saying Scottie Scheffler's live this week. If we take a look You know, if we add him in, we have $7,200. So right away, let's just go down and see what the most acceptable or the most comfortable golfer in the 6K range we could play. I mean, we get both Højgaard brothers here. They're both very good golfers. Do we have an Adam Scott equivalent? I don't think so. I mean, Sam Stevens is a decent play. Michael Thorbjornsen is actually a young golfer who is really good. Is kind of an up-and-comer. I wouldn't say he's like, you know, elite caliber just yet, or can't really forecast him to be elite caliber, but there's a lot of excitement around his skill set and how good he can be. We can take a look at other golfers. Is there really anybody else? Matt McCarty actually is going to be a good choice. He's currently leading the Truist Championship, by the way. Wednesday night at the live stream for the Truist Championship, I told everybody I need to get Matt McCarty in my lineup. And it had a lot to do with the analysis that I provided in that video. So it pays to be a member on YouTube. Do it. I will provide as much important information as I can during those Wednesday night live streams for my members only. Be a member only on YouTube, or just be a member, I should say. Be a member on YouTube. Be a white tier member and above. Scrolling down, Bud Colley is also going to be a good choice, 5,700. Lucas Glover's kind of, you know, a little past his prime, I guess. Hao Tong Lee would be a good choice. These aren't Adam Scott equivalents, but these are golfers that are somewhat, I mean, they're playable. Billy Horschel will be playable. Chris Kirk will be playable. John Perry will be playable. These are, you know, golfers that have had decent success on the PGA Tour this year. But who would be our Adam Scott equivalent? Probably Alex Noren at $6,900. I think that's a great choice. There are a lot of other really good. Actually, let's go ahead and put Alex Noren in. I think that's that will be a good play for this week's tournament. I'm very tempted to put like a Denny McCarthy in there as well, or even like a Pearson Cootie, Aldrich Potgieter. I think those guys are fine. But yeah, so we don't really have that 6K equivalent to like an Adam Scott or a JJ Spawn or anything like that. But we do have these other 7K golfers that are pretty decent, that will be worth playing or considering. I'm going to put a lower 6K golfer in here. Let's go ahead and put in. Now these guys might be. Nick Taylor is also a pretty decent consideration. Let's put Bud Colley in. I like the idea of putting Bud Colley in here. So it gives us $7,800 to work with. So we get a 5K, a 6K. We can go up to those 7K golfers that I was kind of mentioning. Like, I don't mind Bradley. I don't mind Kitayama. I don't mind Woodland or Im. Sungjae Im seems like a really good play. He's been playing some decent golf leading into this event. So now we get a price tag of an average remaining salary to be over $8,000. So let's take a look at our $8,000 golfers. There are some interesting plays here. I think we could pretty much play anybody. We could even reach up to these 9K golfers, but some of these guys I think might be a little bit overpriced. We could go ahead and put in, man. Let's go ahead and put in, I kind of want to put Siwoo Kim in there. I guess we could go Burns and Siwoo Kim. I know that if we start with a Scheffler Burns lineup, one of my followers, Shot Like Harden's going to enjoy this one. That leaves us with $300 on the table. That's fine. This lineup here is pretty solid for Scotty Scheffler. I'd be pretty comfortable playing a lineup like this. And again, because there's a 5K range, Bud Colley in the 5K range, when I don't know when the cheapest. Let's take a look. What is the cheapest that Bud Colley has been? Again, you can do this at sweetspotdfs.com. We're going to go ahead and put into tournament stats filter. There's this little golfer thing right here. Let's go ahead and put Bud Colley. Type in Bud Colley. And I want to look 26, 2025. What is the cheapest he's been? He was $5,700 at the 2025 Players Championship, and what do you know? He was sixth place there. So I mean that's not a very good comparison to make, but hey, it's worthwhile. But yeah, 6K, $6,000. Even the Open Championship last year, where there was a 5K range, he was $6,100, and that U.S. Open we were talking about with JJ Spawn, he was $6,100 there. So he's getting a bit of a discount, or I don't know. maybe because he just hasn't been playing super great this year. But Bud Cauley is a choice. Again, you don't have to stick to that. You could actually remove him and you have $6,000 to work with. So we could get that Michael Thorbjornsen. That also works. So a lineup like this, to me, looks, again, very, very solid. And that's starting with Scottie Scheffler. And you can make a lot of different arguments as to which golfers to put in your lineups. I'll go more in depth about this during the Pass Optimal and GPP Winning Lineups video, where we will, or at least I will, really explore the different type of Scottie Scheffler lineups you can make. If you want to do your own, if you want to do if you want to get a head start on this analysis, become a member at sweetspotdfs.com. Go subscribe. And you can use all the tools here. Use the historic salary builds. I had put the $13,400 as the highest priced golfer to $15,200. And in the tournament selection, I selected everything, and then I typed in tour to take the tour championship out. So if I delete that, you can see all of the tournaments are selected. I just deselected the tour championship. And here you go. Here are all your lineup creations: 10, 8, 2 7s, 2 6s. You drill down on that, you can see what tournaments those apply to. And then with this information, you can then go and look to see what lineups or what golfers were actually a part of those lineups and what their actual price tags were. So you can use both of these tools. It's pretty slick. I enjoy doing it. All right. That is the Scottie Scheffler argument. Now, Rory McIlroy, I think this is the closest these two golfers have been in price all year. Even at the Masters, there was I think it was a $2,000 discount. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was fairly large between Scheffler and McIlroy. Now it's $1,500. I think that's exactly where Rory McIlroy should be. I think that's a very good price tag. Depending on what he does at the Truist Championship at a golf course that he typically plays well at, very interested to see, if he does play well, ownership will be high. That makes sense. If he shows some promise, but he doesn't really perform well enough to have a good result, that's probably a really good, I wouldn't say an omen, but that's a really good thing for us. If we want to play a low-owned Rory that is trending up, that would be the way, or that would be the scenario. But either way, I think Rory would be a good play regardless. Moving on from there, we have a couple live golfers in Bryson DeChambeau and Jon Rahm. I don't know what to make of these guys. There's a lot of live drama that's happening currently. There is an event, the Virginia event, that is playing right now. I guess it'd be worthwhile to see how they perform there. But let's just put it this way. They're both really good golfers that, I think deserve a $10,000 price tag. It doesn't really matter where they are when it comes to pricing for how soft pricing is this week. So a $10,900 Bryson DeChambeau, I could make the argument that that's too expensive, but he should be a $10,000 golfer. So we're really talking about somewhere between maybe $700 to $900 too expensive. Well, when pricing is as soft as it is, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. Jon Rahm, I think, might be underpriced, to be honest. $10,400 for the caliber of golfer he is, probably should be worth more, at least $10,600. I know that's only $200 difference, but that's the lowest that I would anticipate Rahm to be. Cam Young is one of the hottest golfers on the PGA Tour. He's evolved. He has taken that next step to become an elite golfer. $10,200 too cheap for him. $10,100 for Xander Schauffele is probably exactly where he should be. He could actually be in the 9K range, so he might be overpriced. Matt Fitzpatrick at $10,000 is exactly where he should be as well. There are 7 10K and above golfers. If you wanted to take a look of how many 10K golfers we typically see at the PGA Championship, you could use this Pass Optimal and GPP Winning Lineups page. Just go ahead, hit the clear filters, just if you have any filters set. In this little page here, just go ahead and put in PGA, select that, and then what I would do is come into here, and I'm going to select 10,000 in this little filter up here. and then go year by year. How many have we had? And there isn't a count that we have here, but you can do the quick math. There's 3 plus 4, that's 7. So we had 7 10K and above golfers last year. And if you want, you could actually sort by salary. See what it kind of looks like. Looks very similar to last year. Look at it. It's almost the same, almost the same, except for Colin Morikawa and Ludwig are not in this year's. Anyways, 7 10K golfers in 2025. There were 8 10K and above golfers in 2024. 2023, we had 5. In 2022, we had 5. In 2021, we had 6. In 2020, 0? Ooh, this is interesting. Oh, it just took a little while. Sorry about that. 6 golfers. So you're kind of getting the sense that, well, 2019, there were 4. 2018, there were 4. And then 2017, there were 7. So for the majority of these PGA Championships, we've seen around 6 to 7 10K and above golfers. So we're right in line with any of the previous PGA Championships. And again, use the tools at sweetspotdfs.com, especially when it comes to salaries, to do, the full analysis that way, to get a sense of what lineups are going to work this week. When we scroll down, now we get into the 9K range, and it starts with Colin Morikawa at $9,900. That's scary business. Morikawa just withdrew from the Truist. Actually, he withdrew before the event started, thankfully. He's been battling a back injury since forever, and if you listen to him talk, especially at the Masters, he seems spooked by it. Like he is constantly in fear that he's going to throw at his back again, like he did at the PGA or at the Players Championship. So that could be a very good buy low opportunity, especially when it comes to like ownership. But $9,900 isn't much of a discount for a golfer whose back is kind of iffy. I think really the only positive is this is a game theory play where like Colin Morikawa is going to be low owned. He's a high caliber golfer. If his back isn't actually bothering him, he's going to be a good play. Ludwig at $9,800. I think I'm going to rapid fire through most of these here because I'm just going to tell you if it's worth the value or not. Ludwig, right where he should be, $9,600 is the cheapest I would expect him to ever be at one of these major championships. Fleetwood, same thing. $9,800 is where I expect him to be. He's at $97, so call it a value. Hovland is overpriced, $9,600. I don't know why he's at $96, but I will say this. He makes birdies in bunches. Out of all the golfers in the field, I trust him to make more birdies. It just might come with more bogeys. Justin Rose at 95, he's deserved the price tag, but if I'm giving you my complete opinion on him, that's overpriced, big time. He should be $8,400. Yeah, listen, he's been playing some good golf. He won the Farmers Insurance Open. He was in contention to win the Masters. No thanks. I just, $9,500 is too expensive. Justin Thomas at 94, that's too expensive. When I convert these price tags, I imagine 94. Let's take a look, actually. 94. That's about right here. It's going to be about the same price. Do I think Justin Thomas deserves a $9,400 price tag this year? No, not at all. Not at all. Like, we'll see what he does at the Truist, but outside of that, it's just, I don't know. Of course, pricing, we have to compare other golfers around these guys. And if there's nobody below them that deserves a higher price tag, then they're probably right where they should be, which might be the case. I haven't really fully gone through this whole thing. But we'll see. Brooks Koepka, $9,300. Yeah, I'm okay with it, I guess. I don't know if he actually deserves a $9,300 price tag. Are we getting Majors Brooks? Maybe we are. Maybe that's a great price tag, but I would say $8,800 is probably where he should be. Matsuyama, we've seen him in the 9K range like all year long, 9,000 flat. So him being $9,200 at the PGA Championship where there's a bunch of 10K golfers, yeah, this is actually right where he should be. Same goes with Tyrrell Hatton. Same goes with Patrick Reed. I don't have anything to say about those golfers. Hatton's still on Live. Reed kind of exited Live and is doing his own thing on the other tours. He actually had an okay performance at the Masters. Like I don't have an issue with this 12th place finish at the Masters. That's pretty fine. That's pretty good. Patrick Cantlay is probably an underachieving 9K golfer. So at $8,900, that's pretty good. Chris Goddard up at 88. I think that's exactly where he should be. Henley at 87. That's kind of the sweet spot price for Henley. $86 to $8,800. So that's a good value. Jordan Spieth at 86. He's been around that $8,400 range all year. So we could say this is exactly where he should be, especially in a major championship. So yeah, okay, that works. Shane Lowry is usually around that $8,400 to $8,600 price tag. So 85 is good. Bobby Mack at 84. This guy has been fluctuating in price tags. I would say Bobby Mack is actually a 9K golfer. Obviously hasn't been performing very well. He had a second at Valero, a fourth at Players. Masters, he missed the cut. He looked all over the place, to be honest. He had a very good start to the RBC Heritage, and then the weekend kind of whatever. So I don't know what's going on with Bobby Mack. If there is a reason why he's had two bad performances that I don't know of, like whether it's life-related or injury-related, sound off in the chat. I'd be very interested as to why. But I do think $8,400 is pretty cheap. And when I was making that Scottie Scheffler lineup earlier, where I ended up using Burns, I was really heavily considering putting Bobby Mack in there because I think that's a pretty good value. Another good value is Ben Griffin at $8,300. I think he's kind of turned it around in that earlier slump that he kind of had this season. He's starting to get back to his 3 wins from the year prior, like how good he was last year when he had 3 wins. I think he's getting close. He's getting back to that caliber of play. Joaquin Niemann, this would just be speculative. I think you have to put him in the 8K range. Anywhere between 78 to 82 is probably where he should be, and that's exactly where he is. That's great. Sam Burns, probably the biggest value on the board. And this is more just, 16th place finish at the RBC Heritage, not great. 38th place finish at the Cadillac, not great. But he was in contention at the Masters, and he's had a couple good finishes, leading into that. Burns is such a good golfer. He could be 10K. Like, let's put it this way. If you didn't have Scotty, Rory, or... Well, let's put it, on the PGA Tour, if you didn't have Scotty or Rory, Sam Burns would be in the 9K range, if not in the 10K range. And it's not just because Scotty or Rory's there that makes him so cheap, but if we were playing the Valspar, for instance, and we had Xander Schauffele there with Victor Hovland, he would be, like Sam Burns would be $9,900 or $9,800, if not in the 10K range. So $8,100 is a very, very, in my opinion, I think the cheapest he should be is $8,400, like that. And that's not that big of a difference. But what I'm saying is he could be all the way up to $9,200, maybe even $9,400. And you're getting him at 81. That's a great value. That's why I did choose him with that Scottie Scheffler lineup. Almost the same could be said for Straka, but I would say he's just like a half of a point below Burns when it comes to, that value talk I was just talking about. Straka has the potential to play really, really good golf. It's a very good ball striker, and when his putter is hot, it's hard to beat him. I don't mind Straka. $8,000, that's basically where we've seen him on price tags for other tournaments, not a major championship. So I don't have an issue with this one. Marco Penge, overpriced. I'm just going to say it right now. That is so far overpriced. $8,000. Listen, I think that's going to actually lend to a game theory angle where he's going to be low owned. I think that's fine. I forget what he just withdrew from. He's withdrawn from the Myrtle Beach Classic. I think that's because he just needed one more withdraw from the Truist in order to get into the Truist Championship. I think that's why. Don't quote me on that. I think that's why, though. Siwoo Kim at $7,900. This seems like a huge discount as to where he should be. In this field with some of these other golfers up here, these other jokers, I think Siwoo Kim should be at least 84, 85, $8,600, and he's sitting here at 79. Another huge discount. Corey Connors is about where he should be, probably a little too expensive, if I'm going to be honest. I think he should be like $7,200, $7,400. I just don't get it. He just hasn't been playing as good as he has in the past leading up to this event. Jake Knapp is most likely not playing. All reports show that he's excuse me, he's either in a sling or he's in a cast with his thumb. No idea what happened to his thumb, but it doesn't look good. And he's most likely going to get replaced by Sudarshan Yelamaraju because he's the next person in line to get a start at the PGA. Jason Day, 78. That's normally where you see him. That's where he should be. JJ Spawn, same thing. Mav McNeely, he's fluctuated a lot on the salary leaderboards. I think at the Truist, if we go back here, we're going to see Mav McNeely at $8,500. So if I go back to the DraftKings page, $8,500 versus this week's 77. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't mind Mav McNeely. Bridgman, he's a baller through and through. I like Bridgman. I like Batia at $7,600. Chad Eckert, I know, well, you might not watch this, but I know your league lineup is going to have Scotty Scheffler and Batia in there because anytime Scheffler's at like 14,000, Batia is like $7,600 to $7,800. So Chad just gets to build that lineup easy peasy. No problem. It's going to be the same as it always is. Minwoo Lee. I don't really have an opinion on Minwoo Lee at $7,500. I think that's exactly where he should be. He's got a very high caliber of results. Like he can score really low. I just don't trust. I don't trust him that much. Adam Scott at 75. This seems like a value. You know, just a fourth place finish at the Cadillac with 66, 64 on the weekend. That's pretty darn good. And he's been solid all week or all year, I should say. He's been solid all year. His ball striking's great. His ball speed has gone up with this driver. I think he's like hitting 184, 186, somewhere in that range. It's insane. So yeah, Scott, I like. Don't care for Fowler, but at 7,400, that's probably where he should be priced. Same goes with Bradley. Same goes with Kitayama. Same goes for Woodland. Those guys are, you know, every single week in that low 7K to mid 7K range. So this is exactly where they should be. I think, and especially good values this week. Sungjae Im. He was just $6,300 at the Truist, and he was in second place after round one at the Truist. So this could be a very, I mean, he's been playing poor this whole year. Very, very poorly. $7,200. It's probably where he should be. You know, if we're thinking about 2019, 2020, 2021, that Sungjae, you know, all the way up throughout the years, I think, yeah, he should be around that. I mean, I shouldn't even say he should be. Sungjae Im could be anywhere between $6,700 to $8,400. So we're getting him at 72. I think that's fine. Harris English, great value, $7,200. I think Byron, if you go watch Back Nine Bets, Byron will have something for about Harris English and how he just like always top 10s or top 20s at major championships. Like he plays really well at major championships. At $7,200, that seems pretty good. Danny Berger, I don't mind him at 71. That's exactly the same price tag he's had all year. Same goes with Clark. Almost same goes for Homa. Like this last week, I think he's $6,000. He was like dirt cheap at the Truist. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. Where was Max Homa? Was he $7,000? Yeah. Yeah. In my head, I thought he was stone min $6,000, but $7,000 is where he was. So yeah, that's pretty much where he should be. Dustin Johnson, that's a speculative play. Same goes with Cam Smith. These are live golfers that, you know, don't really seem to care. But like DJ played okay at the Masters. for a while. He had a 75 in round 3 that kind of derailed him, but he was playing pretty decent, honestly. He was playing pretty decent. So who knows? You know, he used to be a PGA Tour golfer. I think he won 20 years in a row on tour, something like that. It was maybe I'm embellishing a little bit, but I think it was a long streak. It was like second longest to Tiger in the modern era. So, hey, perennial winner, major champion. I got no issue if you want to play DJ at $7,000. Cam Smith is a little bit different. I've been hearing that the tournament or the golf course is going to be tough. The rough will be long, and he's so erratic off the tee, it's hard to trust him. Noren, he was in our dummy lineup with Scotty Scheffler. I think he's a great value at $6,900. Plays tough course as well. He's a grinder. I like him. Brian Harman probably can't get there, but I never get there with Brian Harman. I don't really care for him, but $6,800 is a good price tag. Same goes with Theala. Same goes with Rye. Same goes with Mitchell. Those guys in that price tag, in that price range, yeah, that's pretty good. Michael Brennan, a young guy at $6,600. He bombs the ball. He's got a lot of talent. He's won on tour. I don't have an issue going to Michael Brennan. He's just inexperienced. That's going to be my biggest knock is for playing Michael Brennan. Nico, don't really care. $6,600 is exactly where he should be. Pendrith is probably cheaper than he would have been last year, $6,600. So if you're looking for a value play as to, I mean, he's priced as he should be for the results he has this year. But when it comes to just overall potential, he should be in the $7,000 range. Denny McCarthy's exactly where he should be. Højgaard brothers, they should, I mean, we can make an argument they should be in the 7K range. I think the Højgaards, either one of them is going to be good. Nikolai probably gets the edge over Rasmus, but hey, you can play them both. No issues. All right, let's go lightning round here. Castillo, sure. Gerard at 6,400, sure. Isatsune, yep, I like that. Cootie, I like that. Michael Kim, I've got no issue at 63. Potgieter, that's a great value. Guy mashes it off the tee. Lots of potential there. David Puig, or Puig, I should say. David Puig. Sure. I don't care. These six, let's put it this way. I'm not actually going to go throughout each of these golfers. Any of these golfers down here, if you recognize their name, play them. Here's some golfers you might not know. Christopher Wrighton, yeah, that's decent. Jaden Shaper, he's played really well in the past. So I've got no issue. I should say really well. He's a golfer that has popped in the past. So I actually don't have an issue playing Jaden Shaper. And if you look at his game log, you're going to see a couple wins here. Fine. But that's on the DP World Tour. Just throwing that out there. I think it's a good play. It's a good play. South Africans, for whatever reason, tend to do well in major championships when they're in the 6K range. I don't know why, but that's good. Let's see some other names that you guys might not know. And that's kind of how I'm looking at this, trying to give some insight for golfers you might not know. I think once we get down here, it's not that big of a deal. I really don't know who this guy is. I think it's Angel Ayaro Venegas. I don't know how you say his last name. Yeah, I don't really care. I wouldn't worry about that. Niergaard Peterson seems like a good play. Grazerman could be like Collie. Some of these other names down here. Matt Wallace, by the way, $5,600, worth playing. Matti Schmid, worth playing. Bezzy, oh my God. Christian Bezainholtz, $5,500, sure. Stephen Fist, don't mind. Horschel, sure. When it becomes like, maybe don't play. See, there are names down here. I like Smotherman at 53. I like Emiliano Grillo at 53. I like that golfer. Some of these other guys like Elvis Smiley here, don't care for him. Sadier, don't care for him. When does it really become worth not mentioning? $5,200 and down. I think that's where it becomes worth not mentioning. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Kind of did a little quick, go at it there towards the end, but I kind of wanted to keep this video a little bit shorter than typical, just because we don't need to go over an hour talking about every single golfer at their price tags. There were some that I thought were priced appropriately. There were some I thought there was a discount and some that were overpriced. So you can take with that as you want, as you will. Does not matter to me. This was just my opinions. I'll be going over more content here in the future. Again, go comment on each of those videos to get entries into the giveaways. And if you missed the beginning part of this, let's go over the big giveaway. It's a win the pot giveaway. Starts at $20, and for every one new subscriber, we add $2 to it. You can see I've kind of subscriber stamped it all the way over to the left under the goal. It started at 943 subscribers. We're at 944. So you add $2 to the pot because we had one new subscriber. Hopefully we get more. The Masters champion or the Masters tournament, we got this up to $70. The win the pot started at 20, got up to 70. So that means we had 25 new subscribers. Hopefully we can get something like that this week and grow this pot to even more money. So that's one giveaway. I did mention the SweetSpotDFS.com giveaway, where all you got to do is go create an account at SweetSpotDFS.com and you're automatically entered. And once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I give away $1,000 worth of giveaways. And then the last one to mention, the weekly and the monthly giveaway that I do all the time. Every single week I do the weekly giveaway. Every single month I do the monthly giveaway. Be subscribed, comment down below. That's how you get entries into any of these giveaways. And it'll just increase your chances. The more entries you have, the better your odds are. So that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you all for watching. Pay attention to the rest of the week. I will have more content out there that you can go participate on and watch and get more information to build better lineups this week. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.